Hi, welcome to my video on 45, 45, 90 right triangles, part 3. And this video is going to be on problems. And note, do the unit on square root radicals first. That will help you simplify some of the radicals that I'm going to have in these problems. A, find the exact parameter of each. The unit is in centimeters. Again, we have a 45, 90 right triangle, so this other angle is 45. Adds up to 180, or the complementary angles are 90, and 45 and 45 make 90. Therefore, we have a triangle which is n root 2. So that means if this is n, this side is also 6, n is 6, n is 6, and n root 2 is 6 root 2. That means the perimeter is the sum of all the sides, so 6 plus 6 plus 6 root 2, and I get a 12 plus 6 root 2. And this perimeter, so it's in centimeters. Area is in square centimeter, volume is in cubic centimeter. B, we have a 45, 90 angles. So this angle is 45 because it adds up to 180, two angles equal. That means this side is n, this side is n, and this side is n root 2. And we can see that n root 2 must equal 8 root 2. And it's fairly obvious that n must be 8 without even dividing. That means that this side is 8, this side is 8, so the perimeter is 8 plus 8 plus 8 root 2. 8, 8, 8 root 2. Add 16 plus 8 root 2. Notice I can't add the root 2 to these 8s or 16 because they're not like terms. And that's the same up here. Root 2 cannot add to 12 because you need the same radical. You need root 2s to add to root 2s to make them simpler. C, we have a 45 and 90, so this angle is a 45. That means that we have equal angles, so these sides, this is n, and this side is n, and this side is n root 2. So n is root 10, so that's a root 10. So this side is n root 2. N is root 10, so it's root 10 times root 2. That's the root of 20. Root of 20 is 4 times 5, perfect square factor of 4. Square root of 4 is 2, so it's a 2 root 5. And the perimeter is root 10 plus root 10 plus 2 root 5. Notice root 10, and this side here is 2 root 5. So we add them all up, and the root 10s are like terms, so 1 plus 1 is 2, so that's 2 root 10. And you cannot add 2 root 5 to it because it's different radicals. Root 10 and root 5 are different. And again, the perimeter is in centimeters, and the perimeter here is in centimeters. D, we have A, B, C, D, 4 right angles, and we have these two sides equal. So even if this was a rectangle, opposite sides are equal. So that side equals that side equals that side. Notice that A, B, C, D is a square with all sides equal. That means that this is a 90, so these two sides equal. These angles are 45s. And also these sides are equal, so these angles are 45s. And so this side is n, this side is n, this side is n, this side is n, and so this side here is n root 2. So that means n root 2 is equal to 4 root 6. So we divide by root 2. Root 2 cancels. N is equal to 4. Root 6 divided by root 2 is root 3. And so n is 4 root 3 every side. And just write that in. But the shortcut, because it's a square, the perimeter is 4 times the length of the side, S. So that's 4 times the length of the side is 4 root 3. 4 times 4 is 16 root 3. And it's perimeter, so it's centimeters. You could have also added all these up. 4 root 3, 4 root 3, 4 root 3, 4 root 3. They're all root 3s and got 4, 8, 12, 16 root 3, but this is quicker. B, find the exact area. Units are in inches, so we got to find the exact area. So again, we have a 90, 45, 45 angle. And these angles are equal, so 2 sides are equal, so that's n, and this is n root 2. So as you can see, n root 2 is equal to 10 root 2. And root 2's, so n is equal to 10. So that's a 10 and a 10. And we're doing area this time, so the area is of a triangle is half the base times the height. So in a right triangle, the legs, the perpendicular sides, are the base and the height. So the base is 10. The height is 10. And so that's, I can take a half of 10 to get 5 and go 5 times 10. Or I can do that and get 50. I could have said 10 times 10 is 100 and then taken half it to get 50. And its area in inches, so it's inches squared, square inches. Okay, let's continue. Find the exact area of each. The units are in inches. And we have a 90, 45, 45. So we got 45-degree angles, so this side is n, this side is n, and this side is n root 2. So that means that n root 2 must be 3. Divide each side by root 2. They cancel out. And when I have a radical in the denominator, I multiply by root 2, top and bottom, numerator, denominator. That gives me 3 root 2. Root 2 times root 2 is 2. And so this side is 3 root 2 over 2. This side is 3 root 2 over 2. And we have to find the area. So the area of a triangle is a half the base times the height. The base is 3 root 2 over 2. And the height is 3 root 2 over 2. And again, reminder, in a right triangle, these two legs, either one of them can be the height and the base. Multiply. 2 times 2 times 2 is 8. And 3 root 2 times 3 root 2. 3 times 3 is 9. Root 2 times root 2 is 2, so that makes it 18. And 2 is a GCF. 18 divided by 2 is 9. 8 divided by 2 is 4. Oh, I wrote an 8 then. So it's 9 over 4, which is 2 1/4, 2.25, either or. C. ABCD is a square, so this is a square. And BD is 4 root 10. So if this is a square, we have all right angles, which is given, but all the sides are equal in a square. And we need to get the length of the side. So that means that this is an isosceles triangle, 2 sides equal. That means these angles are 45s. That means that in this triangle, this side is n, this side is n, and this side, which is the hypotenuse, is n root 2. So that means n root 2 is equal to 4 root 10. Divide by root 2. Cancels. N is equal to 4. Root 10 divided by root 2 is root 5. And we have to find the area. So the area of a square is length times width, but better than that, it's just s squared because the length and the width is the same. So the side, n, is the side. So therefore, we have 4 root 5 squared. 4 root 5 times 4 root 5. 4 fours is 16. Root 5 times root 5 is 5. And 16 times 5 is 80. And I didn't finish this one off. The unit is in inches, so the area is in square inches. And the area is in square inches. Because a parameter, length is in inches, area is length times width, so it's square. C, A, we have this diagram. Find the exact parameter of A, B, C, D. So we have 2 triangles, so we have a right angle, so this is a right angle, that's 45, so this angle is 45. That's a 90, this is 45 degree angle right here, so this is a 45 degree angle. Just they add up to 180, and these 2 angles are, that's 90, 135, 45, same with this one. So that means what I'm going to do now is draw 2 separate diagrams so it won't be confusing. A, B, C. Let's look at this triangle. A, B, C. 45, 45. So this side is 6. Because these 2 angles are equal, this side is n, this side is n, this side is, oh, I don't know how many times I do that. That's n root 2. I'm going to write down root 2n. Now it's n root 2. If that side is, if n is 6, this side is 6, this side n is 6, so this side is 6 root 2. So that's 6, and that's 6 root 2. Now I'm going to draw, and I'll keep it similar in shape so you can see. This is an A, that's a C, and a D. I separate the 2 triangles so you can see what's happening. And AC is, this is 6 root 2. Remember, that's a 45 and a 45 angle, 90. So these 2 angles are equal, so 2 sides opposite them are equal. So this side is, that's the n, that's the n, and that's the, again, that's it, n root 2. I'm going to put down 2 root n again, n root 2, n root 2. So this, if n is 6 root 2, this side is 6 root 2. So CD is 6 root 2. Now, that means that this side here is n root 2. So n is 6 root 2 times root 2. 6 times root 2 times root 2 is 2. That makes it 12. So this side is 12. So the parameter is, we're going to add them all up. So it's a 6 and 6, 12, and 6 root 2. So 6 plus 6 plus 12 plus 6 root 2. 12 and 12 makes 24 plus 6 root 2. And you're dealing with parameter, so you're dealing with inches. So you've got to be careful. So it's just inches. Area is square inches. Parameters is inches. And D, we have a circle. O is the center of the circle. Okay. AC is root 22. So AC is root 22. Right here. We have a 45, 90 triangle. So that means this angle is 45 because they all add up to 180. These 2 sides are equal. So that means this side is n. This side is n. And this side is n root 2. So if n, it says that n is root 22, so that means that this side is root 22, and that means that this side is I better work that out. N root 2 is, N is root 22, so it's root 22 times root 2. So that's the root of 44, which is 4 times 11, which is 2 root 11. So again, N is root 22, so root 22 times 2, there's the workings. That means that AB is equal to 2 root 11. But notice AB is made up of a radius and a radius, so that means 2 radii equals 2 root 11. Divide by 2, R is equal to root 11. You can see you got a 2R and a 2 times, so R must be 2 root 11. So, how do I find the exact area of the shaded region? That I didn't read out, but I just assumed that you read it. Find the exact area of the shaded region. So the shaded region is this part, and this part. So the shaded region doesn't have the triangle, so it's the area of the circle. So it's the area of the circle minus the area of the triangle, and that's the shaded. So let's find the area of the circle. Pi r squared. Pi. The radius is root 11. So root 11 squared, root 11 times root 11 is 11. So the area is 11 pi. But the units is in meters, so this is square meters. Now I'm getting the area of the triangle. Half the base times the height. So the base of the triangle is either or. You can use two of them are the same. So root of 22. The height is the root of 22. So let's multiply the roots first. Root 22 times root 22 is 22. And a half of 22 is 11. So it's 11 meters squared. So the shaded area is the area of the circle, which is 11 pi, minus 11, which is the area of the triangle. And that's in square meters. I'm going to put a bracket around that. So 11 pi minus 11 is the area of the shaded region. And E. A square has a perimeter of 8 centimeters. Find the exact length of its diagonal 2 different ways. So let's draw a square. A square is all right angles, and a square has all sides equal. And it says find the exact length of its diagonal. So the diagonal moves from one corner to another, not being a side. So let's see, find the exact length of its diagonal. So a square has a perimeter of 8. So the perimeter is 8. The perimeter of a square is 4 sides added up, so it's 4s. So that means that 4s equals 8. Divide by 4. S is 2. So that's a 2, 2, 2, 2. But because it's 2 sides equal here, that means these angles are 45s. Because if 2 sides are equal, the angles opposite those sides are equal. That means this triangle, that's an N, and this is N root 2. So if N is 2, then N root 2 must be 2 root 2. So that's the length of the diagonal. So the diagonal is 2 root 2. That's one way. Now, another way is that we could, if we did all that work, we have to go and get the parameter 4s to get the side of 2. But the other way is I worked it out with n root 2. But you could have also said, you could have had a 2 and a 2 at a right angle. You could have got this side as x. These two are 45s. But what happens? C squared equals a squared plus b squared. So in a right triangle, A, B, C hypotenuse, the hypotenuse in this case is x equals 2 squared plus 2 squared. X squared is 4 plus 4. X squared equals 8. X equals the square root of 8. X equals 8 is 4 times 2. So x equals square root of 4 is 2 root 2. Again, I got the same answer, but here I did it with n root 2, which is way easier. And here I had to do the Pythagorean. But remember, the more ways you understand how math works, the better it is. Because if you forget one way, you can always do it another. So that brings us to the end of this video. And if you like my video, click on the like button, the subscribe button, and the notification bell, because there are more videos coming your way. Visit my website, www.mathfullyexplained.com, to find more information about me, my videos, and the content. And that's the content that's on my YouTube channel called Math Fully Explained. Thank you for viewing my video. Bye-bye.